Is Austin, Texas getting an NFL team? The eviction notice is on the clock as the federal government did not extend uh, the eviction for Americans struggling after the COVID-19 recession. Ruben Cortez, the Texas State Board of Education, did come out and claim that we do need masks for the upcoming school year. What was his response to Governor Abbott's stance on opening back the brick and mortars? SpaceX is on a deadline for August the 5th. How has that affected the city of Brownsville and its tourism? And Brownsville Independent School Board trustee is on the agenda tomorrow for the Brownsville Independent School Board. All that and more. It is Monday, August the 2nd, 7:03 a.m. My name is Frankie Olivo, and this is Good Morning Brownsville. We're set for a hot day today, and it's going to feel in the triple digits. As of right now, we have Brownsville being at 96. South Padre Island, the Cabrera boys are at 87. The western part of Hidalgo is already in the triple digits. Zapata and Rio Grande City are at 104. We should be receiving some rain for this week. It seems as if it's not hot, it's raining these past few weeks. We're set for some scattered showers Tuesday to Friday. The percentage being at 20 to 30%. But again, we're experiencing these past couple of days with a bunch of heat. Perfect to go to the beach, as we've previously been stating. So we'll be monitoring the weather to see how it goes for us. Right now, Brownsville's at 82 degrees, and it should be that way for the morning up until noon, and then it'll be in the 90s. The baby is a hip hop rap artist who was currently in the news. He made some homophobic remarks at a concert these past few days, and he has been in the news. He previously performed here at Hidalgo at the Pain Arena this past weekend. What's interesting to note was that we had a Brownsville native that opened up the show for him. He goes by the stage name of Bakery 11. I kind of stumbled upon this artist. I was looking into information on the baby and his concert, on how the turnout was. And then I found out that Brownsville's very own Bakery 11, his real name is Joseph Bakery. He was the opening act for the baby. And this is pretty much a big deal. The baby is what is hot right now in the music, in entertainment, in the music entertainment industry. For somebody, an unknown, to come up and perform the opening act to me is a big deal. I ended up going into his social media because I have never heard of this artist. He reminds me of a heavy metal Takashi. He dresses like a hard rocker, but he raps, and his style is a lot heavy metal punk like Takashi. But nonetheless, it was great to see someone local, to see the big stage, and nothing is bigger than the baby right now. Good morning, Zudi. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. Once again, all my friends and family, if you are watching me, go to YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe the page. You'll be getting your notifications whenever I come on. So good morning, Zudi. Happy Monday. School is right around the corner. Are you done with summer school, or is this the last week? I hope you have a great start to your day. Thank you for being here. We'll start off with national news. Um, how do we feel about having a third team in the state of Texas? As we all know, the Cowboys reign supreme here in the Lone Star State. Obviously, if you are not a Cowboys fan, if you are considered a hater, a Cowboys hater, you root for the Houston Texans. There was a time after Hurricane Katrina that the New Orleans Saints played here locally in San Antonio. And the thought was that if Louisiana wasn't able to host NFL games at Texas, Texas would welcome another NFL team. Uh, the Los Angeles Raiders also, when they were in discussions with Oakland, they threw out the name of San Antonio possibly being their hometown. Now we get word that Austin, Texas, might be the home of another NFL franchise. Um, we got word that the Buffalo Bills threw out Austin, Texas, as a possible destination city of having their franchise relocate. And this got me thinking, how do we Texans feel about that? Again, we are very supportive of either the Cowboys or the Texans. And we know that both of these teams will not like it because of marketing they've already established. Even though Dallas is America's team, it is a worldwide recognized franchise. But the Houston Texans and the Cowboys would not want another NFL team to come into their territory and disrupt the hold that they have um, here in the state of Texas. Well, the Bills right now are currently in discussions with the city of Buffalo. And again, like every great negotiator, every great businessman, you always have to use leverage. We previously saw how leverage worked out for Elon Musk. He kind of threw the city of Brownsville, South Texas, Starbase a curveball when he posted on his Instagram with millions and millions of followers that he was experiencing some challenges at Starbase and he was going to expand his McGregor plant instead of focusing on Brownsville. And us down here, we're like, oh my God, what's going on? Have we lost the world's richest man? But everything is calculated. Um, that's what we see from businessmen, and in this case, is like no other. The Buffalo Bills reportedly will be using a potential move to Austin, Texas, to get what they want in Buffalo. And again, right now, the city of Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills, are in negotiations of building a new stadium. The Buffalo Bills previously had some success when they met the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, and they had a great season. Now they are looking to upgrade and call a new stadium home. As we all know, these stadiums are could go up to two, three, $4 billion. We recently saw how the LA Rams built their stadium in Inglewood for $4 billion. Right now, the city is not in a position to negotiate, as the Buffalo Bills is the only thing in the northern part of New York that is sustaining the local area. So a move like this would greatly hurt the city of Buffalo. But again, every businessman, every smart entrepreneur uses leverage to their advantage. Right now, there is the city of Buffalo and uh, the Buffalo Bills organization are in talks, are in dialogue to try and create some sort of understanding to to raise the funds to see how much money the city is going to put down and how much is the owner going to put down. Of course, the owners, they want it all to be through public funds. They do not want to spend a dime. So what do? They say, "Hey, we have a potential suitor that will do what we wish. Uh, the city of Austin, Texas, will build our stadium." And again, the city of Buffalo is scrambling, I'm sure, right now. Uh, but it got me thinking: how would us Texans feel about the Austin Bills. It sounds weird. The Austin Bills. I'm sure if they do relocate, a change of name might uh, go into play. But we don't know with the rich history of the Buffalo Bills. Um, we don't know. Good morning, El Gallo. How's it going? I hope you have a good Monday. Not going to happen. I heard a possible reason is the Q2 Stadium of Soccer not making the money the city had thought. Um, but we can't compare MLS to the NFL. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They dominate the world of sports, in my opinion. After seeing basketball, many individuals have been dissatisfied with the product that the NBA has put out. But the NFL, it runs supreme in the United States, in my opinion. In Texas, we all know football's king. But I think in the United States, we can all agree for the most part that football is supreme. And I would disagree with your statement, Rodriguez. Um, I don't here in the States, I don't see soccer being a big thing. If you go to Europe, if you go down to Mexico, it is the sport of the nation, of the country. But here, unfortunately, it's apples and oranges. The MLS does not have the stadium, the media contracts that the NFL does. The NFL is in negotiations with Amazon, with NBC, CBS, Fox, ESPN. So many marketing opportunities and business deals that the NFL has compared to soccer. Are you really wearing pants? No. Who does that nowadays? I think we all got used to during the pandemic of being professional up here and homey down here. So no, I'm not wearing pants yet. Good morning, Richard Steamboat. How's it going? I haven't had a song on the page lately. Um, hope you're working on something. Nice to see you. Have a good morning. Being a former citizen of Austin, NFL will not make it in Austin more of a college football town. I agree. UT uh, and now we're just having a discussion on this. I miss the tailgates. I miss that fun atmosphere that college football brings. Everybody's a fan of college football. More for the tailgates, more for the amazing Texas barbecue. Of course, the drinking. Everybody goes crazy on that. But I kind of agree with you on that. Um, Everybody loves UT, and they get fans from all over. But I would disagree with you, Rodriguez. I think Austin would eat up the Buffalo Bills, the Austin Bills. I think Austin is centrally located where you will get people from Houston, Austin, San Marcos, San Antonio. People from the lower valley would travel to Austin more frequently, um, purchase purchase season tickets. I think this is a gem. I think Texas, like California, there's money to go around. Again, the Cowboys and the Texans would not like that because again, they're niching at their little on their nest, and nobody likes that. Again, but competition is great. But I would personally like to see the Bills in Austin. I think it would be great for the state and good for our area, in my opinion. Who goes crazy about drinking? Oh wait, day drinking. Let me know. I have tailgates to take you. Enjoy. Hey, we need to hang out. It's been a while. You just moved into a new home, um, but we should hang out. But I do miss college football. We are right around the corner. Our first preseason game is this Thursday. The Cowboys open up the Hall of Fame game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we're going to have games, guys, on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from here till early September. And we saw how St. Joe, and I think Pace, and some of the high schools around are the Rio Grande Valley. They had the Midnight Madness, where at 12 a.m., they started doing drills. Football is here. So it was pretty fun to get a notification from Real Sports Live that they were with the St. Joe Bloodhounds at 12 midnight as they started practice, started preparing for this upcoming season. I thought it was fun. I think Pace does that, and other schools around the Rio Grande Valley does that as well. So how do we feel about the NFL, a new NFL team? Well, a new NFL team to Texas. The Austin Bills. How does that how does that sound? Does that ring a bell? Again, this is probably far fetched. The city of Buffalo will do everything in their power to make sure that the Buffalo Bills stay in their state. That would be a huge loss for the local area. Also, in national news, we have seen how the eviction notice for individuals who have been going through economic troubles after this COVID-19 pandemic is no longer on the table. We have seen how House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic leaders have called on President Biden and his administration to extend the nation's eviction notice that has expired. This would prevent over 11 to 12 million Americans from being pulled out of their homes. Um, and again, this is unfortunate that many individuals are dealing with this. This all goes back to providing economic opportunity for our people. I got in a discussion with a friend that how can these individuals how can these individuals who are experiencing the tough economic times, how could they come up with 9 months of rent, 6 months of rent, a year's worth of rent, to be able to catch up when they're earning $9, $13 an hour, $15 an hour? That is not possible. The federal government expects our men and women who are living paycheck to paycheck to suddenly come up with months worth of rent to avoid eviction. But again, this has two sides to the equation, so to say. Some of my friends were saying, you know what, the federal government has done enough. They have given the people vast amounts of opportunity with unemployment. Um, that should make them caught up. These individuals are just smooching. As we know, the federal government did extend the eviction notice once to July 31st, which was this past weekend, and it wasn't extended. And many individuals were saying, hey, they already got their chance. Now the renters need to get paid. And while we understand that, we feel that the federal government should do more. Another interesting topic was that the states themselves are not doing enough to make sure to distribute the money that the federal government has given them. Right now, currently in Cameron County, there is rental assistance that is provided to our people through the CDCB, the Come Dream, Come Build nonprofit organization, which works with Cameron County and provides emergency rental assistance for renters and the landlords as well. They include up to 6 months of rent and some utility assistance. Uh, so we encourage our friends and family who know of somebody or if they themselves are going through financial hardships to reach out and apply for this rental assistance program. The number is 888-814-4744, and they can also apply. We encourage individuals to go to their website and apply, cdcb.org/rental, /rental/assistance. Again, many individuals are going through tough economic hardship right now, and it's hard to bounce back. We feel the struggle, and unfortunately, we've kind of gotten to a point where our federal government has said, you know, figure it out on your own. Uh, that's what it looks like to me as of right now. Austin is the mecca of entertainment. It's money. It's a moneymaker. Besides Texas, is big enough for everybody to succeed. I agree. There's money to go around, and I think Texas would benefit tremendously from having an NFL team here. Again, I don't think that is going to happen. The state of New York should and would put up most of the money for the $2-3 billion stadium. But again, everybody's in a standstill right now, seeing who blinks first. Poor people got stimulus as well. I agree. Gallo El Gallo de Joe Valdez. I always uh, find pleasure whenever I see your comments out there, Gallo. So thanks for being here. I agree. A lot of assistance has been provided to individuals, whether through second stimulus, third stimulus checks. The unemployment assistance also benefited many Americans. The extra $700 by the federal government really helped people um, through these tough times. While I agree that the extension is great, as a former landlord, I didn't tag types of reasoning. I had to pay the mortgage. I was owed 4K at one point, and I sympathize with our landlords because they are in a bind. Um, you know, legally they could before legally they couldn't kick out the individuals, and they were the ones suffering because hey, I agree, Rodriguez, you have a mortgage, you have to feed your kids, you have to make sure that your kids have everything ready for this upcoming year. And while landlords, they're very smart at allocating their money. Okay, I get this money for my mortgage, so this covers this payment, so this money is going to go to different needs that my family or I have. So I sympathize with you, Rodriguez, and I understand that hey, there comes a time where we need to catch up. We need to make sure that our affairs are in order financially with our landlord. So I do sympathize, and I do reason with both sides. I just feel that the federal government has not given us a fighting chance. And you have individuals living paycheck to paycheck off of $9 to $10, and you expect them to come up with 5 or 6 months worth of rent. It doesn't seem right to me. Good morning, Peppermint Patty. How's it going? Hope you like the YouTube page. Like, share. Good morning, Peppermint Patty. Thank you so much. Um, I was I was gonna say something about uh, Alessandra Ocasio Cortez, the representative for the state of New York, one of the reps for the state of New York. She blamed the Democrats. She said that the House is controlled by the Democrats, and they themselves did not make it an issue to extend this eviction notice for our Americans. We have seen how the Democrats right now are focusing on going to Washington, doing everything possible. At least our Texas representatives are doing everything possible to avoid Austin, to avoid Texas, and right now they're camped out in Washington D.C. Um, as other Democrats from the nation are doing so. Is that our attention? And again, we support for our representatives of fighting for our electoral rights. I think that's very important for our nation as a democratic society. But at the same time, we're dealing with the livelihoods of individuals, of lives, of families. And this is something that Representative Cortez out of New York did say that the Democrats dropped the ball because they control the House and they could have done more to put pressure, to negotiate, to try and see if they can come up with some sort of resolution. But again, it seems like if they have a lot of other things on their minds that they do not focus on the American people. The government should channel money that is being spent needlessly on foreign affairs and help our citizens who qualify for such assistance. We all know billions of dollars goes out to Egypt, goes out to Saudi Arabia, goes out to arms deals, goes out to billions of dollars, goes out to other third world countries. There is money out there that we can focus on Texas, that we can focus in the United States. Will they do so? I don't know. So just read the article that Osmo posted about tomorrow's board meeting. It makes me wonder if Jessica Gonzalez's position as an assistant manager as an adult daycare played a role in winning the election. We'll be talking about that. That is our featured story coming up momentarily. So we will be talking about that. No more extensions. Plenty of jobs out there. No more excuses. I could agree. Buenos días. ¿Cómo está? ¿Está en Durango? ¿Está en Chiapas? No. Está en Saltillo. No, Durango. Ah, sea como sea, esperamos que está gustando su viaje, está tomando muchas fotos y esperamos verlo pronto acá en Brownsville. Que pase bonitos días y que se la pase bien. Que pase buen día, señor Martínez. Gracias por su comentario. Good morning. How's it going, Jail? How's it going? Morning, Carlos. How's it going, my man? Hope you have a good Monday, good start to your week. Um, wish you and the family well, my man. Too much money was given out. Rent could have been paid, but no. Many decided to buy TVs, cars, etc. Money needs to be spent wisely. I've held down two jobs before, during, and after the pandemic. And I agree. There are some individuals that feel that we have been even more lazier with all this government assistance. And that's a great argument. Are we at a point now where we say, hey, enough's enough? The federal government did as much as possible. Um, Sink or swim. Um, I could see the reasons behind that for our people to question that. So thank you for your comment, Peppermint. Local news. We had Ruben Cortez, the Texas State Board of Education for District 2, come out on the KRGV. And he did address Governor Abbott on the concerns over the COVID-19 pandemic. As we all know, currently right now, Cameron County does have the Delta variant. And while it is only three cases, we have seen throughout the United States and throughout the world how we have seen a large resurgence of cases throughout the globe. Many have claimed that this Delta variant virus, this mutant virus, is very contagious, and it is predominantly passed among the young adolescent teenagers from 0 to 19. And Mr. Ruben Cortez's concern was that we have over 5.5 million students going back to the brick and mortar schools in the next couple weeks. And we have seen how the numbers from July 4th have skyrocketed. Our Cameron County Health Authority officials have been noticing a large increase in cases, and they do expect even more positive cases to arise as our students go back into the brick and mortar schools. Ruben Cortez did address himself to the governor, and he did write a letter asking for the governor to give the option of distant learning. As we all know, Dr. Gutierrez, the superintendent for the Brownsville Independent School District, released a memo this past weekend stating that due to the state legislator not giving school districts the financial assistance needed if they do not go to face, that they will not receive the funds necessary for them to be in operation. And again, we all know that money makes the world go round, unfortunately. So BISD has taken a stance, and other Rio Grande Valley schools have also stated that they will go back to face because of money. Here we have Ruben Cortez stating that we do need to give parents the option to and students the option to one, wear a mask. That's something that Governor Abbott has clearly stated that we all need to be responsible here moving forward, and that he will not issue such a mandate again. And also another request by District 2 Board, State Board of Education board member Cortez was to have distant learning be an option to parents, and that is something um, that we are supportive of. We have seen how in the state of Texas, 32 representatives wrote a letter to Governor Abbott and Commissioner Morath to consider allowing school districts to offer virtual learning and also enforce the use of the mask. But as of right now, the governor is not is, won't even take this up into consideration. So we applaud Mr. Ruben Cortez for addressing this situation because, as we all know, 5.5 million students will be going back into the brick and mortar schools, and we all know what's going to happen. Our young children, if the kids are always touching their mocos and their faces and their nose and their ears, you know, we should expect for them to contract the virus and and possibly spread it to our loved ones. What's going to happen is BISD will lose money if parents withdraw students from BISD. Yes or yes? I agree. Right. Last year, during the campaign trail, I think there was 39,000 enrolled students at BISD. I think it was at close to 40,000. And each year we have been seeing for the past 4 or 5 years how we've been losing 1,500 students, 1,200 students, 1,300 students. This is a big issue because this deals with the livelihood of adults who are employees and also of their children who attend these public schools. Um, I agree. BISD has been losing students. We have even been seeing them at the Pulga. We have been seeing in Harlingen, driving down from the Upper Valley down to Brownsville in Harlingen, they have these billboards of, and again, every school does it to promote their school district, but now we see it that they're kind of, it looks like they're kind of desperate. They're begging individuals. If you have them at the Pulga trying to get individuals' attention for their children to go to their schools, it's kind of like, something ain't working. But I agree. But one of the things, Rodriguez, that I have been very vocal about was this is the same excuse that they were giving our community last year. They were saying, "Oh, the state of Texas, because Abbott said he's not going to give us money, so we need to go back to face." And we were all saying, "Hey, it's not safe to go back face to face." And even though they did, for the most part, did have virtual learning, we did see how BISD did receive $185 million from the federal government due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So money was given. Um, Now, are they going to use that same excuse? That is what it seems like. So we just ask our community to be proactive. Make sure if you feel there is a need to make sure that your family is safe, take the vaccinations. Make sure you wear your mask, social distance. Don't be out in the crowds and the concerts and things like that. By the way, the Essence Sublime came to SPI and it was packed. I wish I would have gone. Maybe in other years I would have, but with all this Delta variant and COVID and things like that, we decided to hold off on that. I have no trust in the current individuals running for Congress. You can see through their BS using political platforms for their own benefit. And we'll talk about that momentarily when we speak about BISD. It seems that way. It seems that way, Steamboat. I like to believe in individuals coming in for the greater good of our community. Unfortunately, individuals, whenever they get elected to political office, they forget about their constituents and solely depend on their own agendas. Good morning, ma'am. How's it going? Hope you have a good Monday. Every time I pass by your house, going to my grandparents' house, I want to stop by. You live right down the street from my tia Chula, and I just want to stop by. Sometimes I see cars, sometimes I don't. But I know your grandkids are over. Maybe one of these days I'll stop by to say hello. It's been a while since I've seen you. Just to catch up, just say hello. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We are losing students because of the mess our board has created. BISD has wonderful, passionate teachers who are in it for the outcome and not for the income. I totally agree. Unfortunately, for these past couple of thank you, Johnson, for subscribing to YouTube. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like and share the page. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Just got notification. We have seen, unfortunately, how BISD has been in the news for all the wrong reasons this past couple of years, and that does affect our enrollment. We do have phenomenal employees within our district who go far and beyond for our students, and we can't talk about the great things that they have done this past year and a half in dealing with COVID. They themselves have been in a horrible situation where they have to look after their families who are dealing with this virus and also maintain their professional careers by maintaining instruction, by making themselves accessible to the students. And even then, through all the hardships, we did experience some employees pass away because succumb to COVID. One student from Porter passed away due to COVID. And even with all these uncertainty, with all the viruses going on, our district, being the largest district south of San Antonio, wasn't able to, in my opinion, wasn't able to compensate them adequately. Is a slap in the face, especially all the things that they had to deal with during the COVID-19 pandemic. See more people tuning in. Yay! Yay! Thank you, Pepper and Patty, for for being my cheerleader. Um, SpaceX. SpaceX currently right now has a deadline of August the 5th. We saw how Elon Musk brought over 500 employees, roughly 500 employees, to Starbase from Florida, from Hawthorne, Florida, to make sure that they are have all hands on board for creating an orbital launch. We saw from the SpaceX group state that many individuals will be relocating to Starbase because they do have an August 5th deadline for the BS 420 engines. They have to complete a BS 420 uh, engine. And again, there is some lingo that I don't really know. I was trying to get familiarized with it, but it's just so much information to cram into my small brain. But they do have to complete the OLM. They have to have BS 420 ready for a pre-flight. Um, Let me see. They have to have the capacity for operations to support the BS 420, and we have seen how tourism has kicked in, how businesses have benefited from this large influx of employees that we have been getting. And again, uh, they have been arriving here at the Brownsville International Airport. Elon Musk's private jet, the SpaceX private jet, flew to Florida and back to retrieve these employees. And again, we're still waiting for the big announcement. Mayor Mendez did a BS 420. Elon Musk, Garcia. Good thing you brought this up. Elon Musk is very. I've been following him for a while now. And he's very. This ain't a coincidence. He. If you go back to his Saturday Night Live premiere, there's a segment, a skit in which he is in like the NASA room. And if you look at the numbers on that big screen, they say BS 420, and they allude to like smoking. They allude to, I don't know. It's kind of like subliminal, and he's very much like this. He texts very subliminally, like he means something, and it has double meaning, and it kind of keeps you like you really have to like read it to understand. But I caught that too. Exactly, I caught that too. And we all know Elon Musk did come out on the Joe Rogan Experience, the Joe Rogan podcast, and he did smoke weed with Joe Rogan. So he's very, I think it's a joke to him. I really do. Of all this SpaceX hiring a bartender, I'm gonna go apply. I call BS 420 the engine, or BS on on uh, on what's gonna happen here in Brazil. But again, we are waiting for the announcement. Mayor Mendez did post this picture uh, sometime last week, and he did kind of tease us, stating that something big is going to happen in the city of Brownsville. Elon Musk did tweet that the orbital launch, as we see here, has been set up, and the idea behind it is we could see this picture in its totality. Down here is this part, the orbital launch, the base of the orbital launch, and that is what we should be expecting. Also, if you guys are big SpaceX people, Elon people, go to YouTube and put SpaceX, Boca Chica, or Starbase. You'll get lots of information, lots of videos of individuals from all over the world who comment daily, who on Twitter. They're people on site at Starbase taking pictures. They're there, it seems, 24/7, just monitoring, watching all the different trucks, all the Raptor engines that are appearing. And I think for this orbital launch, they have 19 to 20 engines ready to mount, to install on this Starship rocket. Um, it's a rocket, right? So it is very interesting. I thought the big announcement for the mayor was the award he gave himself. I hope not. I hope not. I know Mr. Erasmo Castro did bring it up to everybody's attention and stated, "Hey, well, they bought this and I don't know what." And while I do I do feel that his marketing team, because it was awarded to him by his marketing team, they should have Googled it before. Maybe maybe they dropped the ball. They apparently they dropped the ball by not letting the mayor know that, oh, we can people can easily access or find this award. Um, I hope that's not the big news. I hope that it's we're going to extend the plant. We're going to hire 15 to 1,000 more employees. Tourism is going to kick in. I hope that's the news, but we'll see. Wemmer von Braun wrote a book called Project Mars in the 50s, where the leader of the first Mars called Elon. I call BS too. I did see that. I did see that. And again, I'm a real big conspiracy theorist, Garcia, and that kind of got my attention. How somebody back in the day was predicting something. I think it's around this year, no, 2020, 2021, that the book states that some guy, a German named Elon, was going to either go into Mars or go into space. The similarities are kind of weird. Um, but yeah, it was interesting when I read that too, Garcia. It was kind of like, what? Like Nostradamus? How the hell is he predicting that Elon Musk is going to go, or some guy named Elon going to go into space or go into Mars? Just some things that you scratch your head and like, hmm. But that is what's going on. Here we have a picture of Elon Musk and his child. If we could see this, see that he's has his baby there at Starbase, and we previously mentioned how he lives in a 50-foot assembled home. It's very very small. So the richest man is in our backyard. The second richest man is in our backyard, raising his family, raising his kid here in South and Starbase and Boca Chica Beach, which I think is pretty cool. So, what do we expect from SpaceX? Will they be having a launch after the August 5th deadline is reached? Again, we have been seeing many individuals talk about how young men and women, engineers from all over the U.S. have made their way down to Boca Chica. And one thing I did want to stress, we have seen Elon previously descalzo, without shoes, wearing a shirt that's all dirty. So he took a picture with Richard Bronson, and here we have a tweet from him. After reading this tweet, I felt okay about not showering. Okay, his tweet states, "Hadn't showered in several days. We are going hardcore with Starbase Surge." So here we see Elon stating that all hands are on deck. They're desperately trying to do everything possible to make sure that SpaceX meets their August 5th deadline, which is this Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll be monitoring. And again, if you guys are want to know the latest news, go to Twitter. There's several sites. There's Nick Acusi, who takes pictures. Daniel Sanchez, I think, also photographer from Brownsville. And also follow Elon Musk. He's always tweeting about the engines. He's tweeting about Starbase and things like that, which is pretty cool. So if I don't shower in a couple days, I'm gonna just say I'm following Elon. So if I smell, don't blame me. Blame Elon Musk. Let's see. Trey, the final straw. These are the voyages of our mayor to reach out for more money and bodily claimed greatness. We'll see. And now for our featured story. Um, the Browns Independent School Board will be meeting tomorrow, Tuesday, August 3rd. And it's never a dull day in South Texas politics, Cameron County, and more importantly for the city of Brownsville. Uh, on the agenda item, the board will discuss and consider to take legal action if possible based on board member Jessica Gonzalez's bank loan that she took out from Lone Star Bank. And this is kind of weird. It's kind of like a finger pointing type of deal. Back in March the 2nd, the Brownsville Independent School Board did meet and voted on some items. One of those items was to grant Lone Star for being the bank, and this is a large uh, money opportunity for the bank to control millions of dollars. that BISD currently has. And in that board meeting, it was a unanimous vote to have Lone Star Bank take control of the deposits and the money, the flow of money that the district has. And again, we're dealing with a budget of $500 million. When that meeting, Daniela Lopez Valdez voted on that. Her father, Joey Lopez, the Cameron County Commissioner for Precinct 2, sits on the board for Lone Star. Uh, it was Jessica Gonzalez who brought it up in a meeting back in June, stating that there needed to be more transparency into this issue. Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez was questioned by the community. She did vote for her father, who is on the board, and Lone Star for them to receive uh, the contract for the deposits of the district. And as we all know, this isn't a coincidence. This wasn't an oversight. Um, and one thing I want to state very, very quickly, and I might get in trouble for this: hustlers are going to hustle, sharks are going to be sharks. I don't blame Abraham Golonsky for doing what he has done in downtown Brownsville. He's a businessman. He buys something on the cheap, he sells it back to the city very, very high. I don't blame them. Hustlers are going to hustle, it's in their blood. Businessmen, they're all about that mighty dollar. While Miss Lopez Valdez, in my opinion, wasn't an oversight, I think it was something deliberate. Um, I don't blame them. I don't blame Miss Daniela Lopez. I don't blame Joey Lopez for them doing this. Who I blame is us, the community. Um, it's business as usual, unfortunately, for many individuals. We have seen how um, individuals, the likes of Sylvia Atkinson, have used this position for their own enrichment. Throughout the campaign trail, we have been promising transparency. We were promising transparency, being held accountable by our community. We were on our platform was using podcasts like these to be able to stay in tune with our community, make sure that everything that is being done according to the law. Uh, but how things have changed. Again, I don't blame the Lopez's because they are doing what is in their best interest. Uh, I blame my community. I blame us, the voters, for electing these individuals and allowing them to do so. Well, now it's going back to Jessica Gonzalez. After she pointed the finger at Daniela Lopez Valdez to try and throw dirt her way, like, oh, nobody's bringing it up that her father sits on the board. And it's kind of crazy how Baltasar Salazar, who was the previous school board attorney, did write in a memo that there was a clear violation. And this act by Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez is considered a misdemeanor. And this should be sent over to the Cameron County District Attorney's Office to see if they will look into the matter and possibly prosecute. As we all know, that's not going to happen. There's no way that the DA will go against the Lopez family, in my opinion. Um, O'Hanlon, the new board attorney, stated that Ms. Lopez Valdez did nothing wrong. That even though she did not file the conflict of interest notice with the district, she did so within the 7 days that is required by law. Shortly after the March 2nd meeting that Jessica Lopez Valdez voted on, and so did the rest of the board, voted for Lone Star National Bank to uh, to get the deposits with the district. Miss Jessica Gonzalez got a loan 2 months after she voted for Lone Star National Bank to take control of the deposits. Now, I asked you, and Peppermint Patty, you had a comment. Let me bring it up. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Um, it was about her being, I believe it's this one. Uh, Miss Jessica Gonzalez ran on the platform of I'm a mom. I volunteer. I'm a parent volunteer. I'm actively involved in my child's school. She was very vocal at the school board meetings, and in her race. And again, this is my personal opinion. In her race, everybody thought that they were getting the mom. Everybody thought that they were getting that individual who can best relate to my needs, to my child's needs. Because here you had a mom who didn't work, and she just focused solely on her child's life, and she was actively involved. And I think the voters saw that in them and wanted that on the board. Um, and unfortunately, she used her position. She used her position to benefit her and her family. Again, we have all talked about being transparent with our community and doing what is right. And just for the record, according to my sources, this loan that she was awarded was a business loan. Our sources say that her husband has a mechanic shop, if I'm not mistaken, and it was through that avenue that they went and requested a loan. Now, if it was ordinary Frankie, your common folk, your common peasant that went to a bank, how long would it take me to for them to even to take me up? What's the process going to be like? If I didn't have a job, if I didn't have a source of income, would they give me a loan? We all know the answer to that. We all know that whenever a, a loan is there's an application for a loan, it takes a while. You have to go through your financial records. You have to see what kind of collateral you have. Um, what are your investments? Do you have any money coming in? What is your source of income? So this just goes to show that these individuals, they don't care about the community. That they care about their own interests, and it shouldn't be that way. The community elected individuals like Daniel Lopez Valdez, Denise Garza, Jessica Gonzalez, because they expected them to look out for our interests. Unfortunately, how quick that has changed in these 6, 7, 8, in this 9 months that we elected them into office. What is our community going to think about this? Is our community going to forget about this in 3 years and say, "Oh, it was a boo boo"? No, these individuals need to be held accountable. We as a community have been failing the city of Brownsville because we allow these individuals to do this. We have not gotten word, at least I haven't heard, we have not gotten word from Daniel Lopez Valdez regarding this issue. I can understand why Jessica Gonzalez is not saying anything because this might have some criminal implications to this situation. So maybe it is best for her at this moment to remain quiet. But is our community going to ask questions? Are we going to want to know, hey, what's going on? Why did you get a bank loan? And again, I have nothing against businesses. I am all for small businesses. Um, I'm all for them getting the assistance, especially during these tough economic times. But there's a question that needs to be made. Did you, Ms. Jessica Gonzalez, benefit from your position at BISD by getting this loan? We all know that it's a yes. It's unfortunate these individuals do this and think that it's okay that they're gonna get away with it. I blame them. They have been loaned a chair. They abuse it to enrich themselves, and that's something that we were constant and very very vocal about. And we warned our community that these individuals will do what's in the best interest for them. And while Erasmo blames them, I don't blame them. A hustler's gonna hustle. A shark gonna be a shark. You know those tigers and lions that they have at those magic shows and they attack the people? And the people are like, oh my god, why did the tiger attack the human? Because it's a tiger. Tiger's gonna do what tiger does. That's kind of an analogy for my brother. Tiger's gonna do it. But they're born to do that. They got to look after their own interests. Wish CA would come and investigate. They won't. BISD is such a mess right now that TA doesn't want to mess with this. Federal government is all up in everybody's business. You think they want to get involved? I don't. I think Ms. Gonzalez got manipulated by Balazar, but he was desperate to try to keep his job. She still screwed up. I agree with you, Gallo. Um, we have heard from many individuals how she started going out to eat more. She started vacationing at the beach more. Um, it was apparent that she did get some influence. She did get some help from somebody. Now, whether that's Baltasar Salazar, I don't know. You're making that, you know, you're trying to go that way. Possibly, possibly. Juan Montoya does claim that is so. Many others have stated that Baltasar Salazar has given money to Denise Garza, to Jessica Gonzalez, under the table. But again, who knows? He was trying desperately to keep his job as much as possible. And he probably was instrumental in coaching Jessica Gonzalez in throwing dirt at Daniela Valdez. Because at the end of the day, how would Jessica Gonzalez know that that Daniela Valdez's father was on the board for Lone Star National Bank? Must have been somebody to know. But again, I can't prove it. Doubt Drew and Mineta will defend her. They are going to leave her alone. Hope they file charges against her. She is clueless on how deep in poop she is in. There is criminal implications to this. I do agree. And again, we do have campaign season right around the corner. Um, there are 3 spots that are coming up, if I'm not mistaken. Miss Drew Brown, Miss Priscilla Catipton, and Miss Denise Garza. So right now, everybody's playing the blame game here. And again, we're all for transparency. We wish that everybody was in a microscope, not just the ISD. We wish the Port of Brownsville, the city of Brownsville, all these boards that we have here, they need to know that they do have a commitment to the community to look out of the best interest of us as a whole, not them. But unfortunately, these individuals, all they do is they look for ways to enrich themselves out of their pockets and make sure that their dynasty continues. Um, that's the reality that we live in. Hi, good morning. How's it going? B. I wonder if the Lopez kids know how their ancestors became successful, taking from others, and they are the legacy and product of the Lopez dynasty. I don't know, to be honest. To me, the Lopez family has been standout, has always been very active within our community. From what I know, I don't know their ancestors. I don't know their beginnings. The only thing that I know is that they have been within our community for many years. They have been very active in our community, um, in the city of Brownsville. That's all I know. So we will be seeing tomorrow. The school board meeting is going to be very interesting. Again, it is never a dull day in Cameron County politics and the city of Brownsville politics. So we encourage our friends and family to watch. Uh, if anybody wants to go and make a public comment, I encourage them to do so. Uh, it is times like these where we need to make sure that our elected officials understand that we don't work for them; they work for us. We, the voters, have the power to make sure that these elected officials understand that. And again, we will be very vocal with this upcoming election. We want our community to make sure that we, as a community, have a seat at one of the biggest districts south of San Antonio. Unfortunately, these school board members are doing what is in the best interest of them and their families, and we are left with crumbs. Please, sir, I want some more. And that's not the way it should be. We should be receiving 3/4 of the pie, and they should be receiving the crumbs, if that. But again, that's the good old way of doing things in the city of Brownsville. Guys, my time is up. I went on a little tangent. I spazzed out a bit. The network is in my ear. They're stating that we're going to pay lots and lots of money to our for going 31 minutes over. Have a good Monday, guys. Again, we do have the SpaceX deadline for August the 5th, which is this Thursday. Um, I encourage you guys to go on Twitter. Make sure you follow Elon Musk, RGV Aerial Photography, and Nikki Asusi and Danielle Sanchez, a local photographer from Brownsville, who is constantly out there giving us all the updates on what's coming in, the Starship, on the developments of the launch tower, and what we should expect. There is whispers going around that that Starbase, that Boca Chica, will be having a launch once we're done with this deadline. So hopefully we'll be seeing also an eviction notice. Um, Make sure we contact the Cameron County Rental Assistance Program through the CDCB. We hope that individuals don't find themselves in this predicament, and if they do, make sure you apply. Do everything possible to try and allocate the resources that are available. There is money available for us, guys. We just have to do our part and apply. Also, how will the state of Texas look with a new team, the Austin Bills? I like the ring to it, but again, I don't expect the state of New York to let go of an NFL franchise. But we'll see. All we can do is be hopeful. And also, the BISD school board meeting tomorrow should be fireworks. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 5 a.m. It should be very, very interesting. I hope you guys have a great Monday. Again, it's going to be a hot day. We should be having scattered showers Tuesday to Thursday in the 20 to 30% chance. Have a great Monday, guys. Hope you guys have a good day. See you guys on Wednesday. Peace and love.